You. Season 4 review. A risky reinvention for Joe Goldberg pays off. Season 4, Part 1 of You is streaming now on Netflix. Hello, you. It's been far too long. Joe Goldberg, Penn Badgley, resident serial killer with a penchant for baseball caps and pretentious literature, is back for the newest season of You. But this time, he's got a new name, new city, and new objective. Surprisingly, and thankfully, Joe's newest target is not yet another poor, unsuspecting woman. Instead, Season 4 of You finds Joe actually being the one on the defense as he frantically tries to figure out the identity of the Eat the Rich killer, a mysterious stranger who kills off members of the Oxford circle of wealthy snobs with whom Joe finds himself surrounded. Oh, and the killer also happens to know Joe's true identity and entire murderous past. So much for Joe's relaxing vacation in the UK. The end of Season 3 saw Joe on the run after murdering his wife Love, Victoria Pedretti, faking his own death, and leaving their newborn son behind. The start of Season 4 sees Joe in London with a brand new identity, Professor Jonathan Moore, a college instructor of American short fiction. He is surrounded by a new cast of eccentric characters, a group of friends who all met as students at Oxford. The Oxford gang is everything that Joe hates. Filthy rich elitists who inherited fame and fortune without having to lift a finger. Each season of You up to this point has been set in a different city, each with its own unique cast of characters who border on caricatures. Season 4 is no different. Just as Season 2 captured the stereotype of the granola LA hipsters and Season 3 showcased the toxic wasteland of momfluencers, Season 4 delves into the world of the rich and royal. There are certainly some standouts in You's new supporting cast. Charlotte Ritchie gives a beautiful depth to her character Kate, who may be a member of the elite, but has an emotional backstory that balances out her initial, Ice Queen, act. Tilly Keeper is an absolute delight as Lady Phoebe, who may be royalty but lacks the cruelty and inhumanity of her wealthy peers. Keeper's comedic timing is perfect, but like Ritchie, she brings a distinctive emotional touch as a woman who, underneath all the wealth, feels truly alone and misunderstood. Ed Spelliers also gives a stellar performance as Arthur Rees Montrose, the unexpected member of the Oxford group due to being born into poverty. You. Season 3 recap. Everything you need to remember before Season 4 as a whole. The new supporting cast works well against Joe, but does often lean a bit too hard into the hyperbolic. Granted, You has always delivered an over-the-top cast of characters, but perhaps there's only so much you can do with royalty before it loses its comedic appeal. The Oxford gang is simply not as memorable as the likes of Sherry, Shalita Grant, and Carey, Travis Van Winkle, Conrad, true MVPs of Season 3, or even artisanal soda bro Benji, Lou Taylor Pucci, back in Season 1. And of course, there's no one quite like Love Quinn. Pedretti's gorgeous, chilling performance as Love breathed new life into You, so when she met her untimely end last season, it was hard to imagine how the series might survive without her. And here's the truth. You let go of its beating heart with Love, Joe's perfect match, and you do feel her absence in Season 4. Without Pedretti, there is the sense that there is something missing. All of that said, however, Season 4 proved that You can still be good without love because of one key reason: it finally broke its tried and true formula. Aside from Pedretti's unforgettable performance in the last 2 seasons, Love's introduction to the series worked so well because she offered Joe his first real adversary, the mirror image of himself. She turned the tables on Joe and disrupted what we assumed would be another Beck, Elizabeth Lail 2.0 situation: stalk, charm, kill. With the season 4 trailer showing Joe chasing Marianne, Tati Gabrielle, through the streets of a new city, it was easy to assume that we were going back to the basics. Was Marianne another Beck? Albeit much cooler and a lot less whiny. Would season 4 just be another season of Joe obsessively stalking the same woman every episode? Season 4 avoids this by making Joe the target. His familiar narration that guides the show